All right, folks, welcome on in to this episode of the Rust Belt Rivalry podcast. I'm Brian Philos, my co-host Nick Kremchek. We've got a packed show today, recapping the NFL action this week, especially the Browns and Bengals, sprinkling in some Ohio State and college football highlights. How you doing, Nick?
I'm doing great, Brian. How are you?
Woo, we're good, baby. We are very good. Uh,
Good.
before we jump into my good feelings, why don't we talk about the Bengals? Can you tell us about the Bengals last week, bud?
Oh man, worst loss in Bengals history.
Saw that.
Lost by 38 points. I believe the record was 34 points. So just ugly all around. When you turn the ball over 5 times, you cannot expect to win that game. It just seemed like Zach Taylor did not have his team ready to play. They were going through the motions. Offensive line looked horrible per usual. There is no running game in Cincinnati right now. None. I mean, ranked 32nd in the league, and I don't see it getting any better, to be honest with you. The Bengals have a total of 147 rushing yards through 3 games. To put it in perspective, the Vikings had 169 rushing yards against the Bengals on Sunday. So it's not great, man. It's just frustrating because they have the talent. Like I said last week, like they have the talent to win. I honestly though, like even if Joe Burrow were playing in that game, there obviously there wouldn't be a pick six, but I still don't see them winning that game. Like the entire offense just seemed like I said they were going through the motions. Nobody wanted to be there, so it was just a very, very frustrating game all around. But I mean, I feel like you run into weeks like that. I'm not giving up hope yet. Still in first place, by the way, in the division. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
So you mentioned the run game that they're just not running the ball 147 yards in 3 games.
Oh yeah.
What happened in this game? I didn't even see Chase Brown on the stat sheet. So what's going on there? I mean, is he healthy? What's happening?
Somebody, Brian, I think that was you that said, was he injured or something? No, he actually he got the carries, man. I mean, he just cannot seem to find the holes. But to be fair to him, the offensive line really isn't making anything for him. I mean, he had 10 carries on Sunday, 3 yards. Samaje Perine, their backup, he led the team with 21 yards. And I mean, he had that fumble before the end of half, and it was just, not good, man. Not good all around. I can't necessarily put all this on Chase Brown. Like I said, if you look at some of the tape, there's immediate you could just see the offensive line getting destroyed up front. And I don't know what you're supposed to do if you're Chase Brown at that point. So I don't know.
So what about Isaiah Rodgers? Did you watch the game in totality? I mean, the man had a punch out fumble for return, interception. I think a pick six as well.
Yep, pick six.
What the heck? I never even heard of that name until Sunday. Who's that guy? Do you know anything about him?
I didn't know anything about him until Sunday, but now I do. That was very impressive. And I mean, hats off to him. I mean, he played one hell of a game. So I was going up against the Vikings in fantasy too, their defense. So it was just like another punch to the gut on that one. I think they ended up with like 35 points. So.
And Jordan Mason, the backup running back, you mentioned all the rushing yards they put up. He also put up 2 touchdowns. So what's going on with the Bengals defense? I mean, is it just the interior line? Is it Shamar Stewart? Is he not as good as advertised? What's going on there, do you think?
So Shamar Stewart was out with an injury. Didn't play on Sunday. Okay. I don't think it would have mattered though, honestly. I was feeling decent about the first half with the Bengals with their defense. I mean, they were able to get off the field, but the Bengals just kept turning the ball over, and I don't know. I feel like you can't even like look into a lot of the stats for the Bengals defense in the second half just because they were down so many points. And the one thing that ticked me off too is I understand like you're losing by 100 points basically to start the second half, but Zach Taylor decided to call two running plays to start the second half, and that just made me even more mad. So, but again, I think the Bengals defense has improved a little bit from last year, but I still do not think that it's above average by any means. I think it's floating between average and below average right now. So time will tell, man. Cam Taylor-Britt, hopefully he comes back from his hamstring injury this week. But yeah, I mean, the interior front is, like you said, it's not great. BJ Hill has been struggling all year as well. It's just, they just can't seem to find a rhythm.
And I'm going to throw this out to you. I didn't give you any heads up on this, but we've had these conversations before. I mean, does Zach Taylor get exposed enough this year to potentially get fired with a Joe Burrow-less team?
Brian, I would love for that to happen.
All right, then I want
it. Dude, that's the thing. He's without Joe Burrow. And no, they won't fire him unless they don't win a game for the rest of the season, which I don't know. After Sunday, maybe it could happen. But I think he is protected. And you have to look at the history of the Cincinnati Bengals, too. Marvin Lewis was the head coach here for, 18 years and never won a playoff game, right?
Yep.
I just feel like they don't like change. But something has to change. If Zach Taylor didn't have Joe Burrow these 6 years, he wouldn't be the head coach right now. There's no way. So
I agree with you there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's flip it over to a more positive note. The Browns, not only do their uniforms look phenomenal
I disagree with that. I'm sorry.
You don't?
Did not like them. No, the all brown. Ugh.
I hate the whole dude wipes thing, but it is what it is. I mean, another offensive stinker for the Browns. Flacco, he's just not Tom Brady at 40, almost 41 years old. He's not very good. I heard today that the Ravens, I think, cut him almost 10 years ago.
Gosh, that is crazy if you think about it.
Okay.
Wow.
That is wild to me. I don't believe it's 10 years, but I mean, maybe it is. He just did not look good. Fortunately for the Browns, though, it didn't matter. The defense was so dominant. I mean, think about this. The Browns had 0 points with 3 minutes and 44 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. How insane is that? And somehow,
that's pretty impressive.
The Packers, who to the first couple games of the season against very good opponents, looked dominant on offense. I mean, they kept Tucker Kraft in check. Josh Jacobs couldn't get going. Jordan Love started to sneak out of the pocket a little bit, but they shut that down eventually.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was 10-0 going into the last 3 minutes, and Browns finally get something going on offense, put up a field goal. Then we had almost a pick six. Grant Delpit an interception and bring it down to, I think, the 5-yard line. Eventually, Judkins pushes it in, tie the game up. Everybody was holding their breath like, oh, man, Andre Schmidt is going to miss this extra point. The Packers then drive down the field, get into field goal range. I saw a punch out. I swear it was a fumble. However, the call on the field was that it wasn't a fumble. After like an hour of a review, they decided it wasn't a fumble. That it
was so long. That took way too long.
for it to stand, it's like if something's gonna change, I don't mind. But like, dude, come on. It was so long. It felt like forever, and they kept the play on the field. So
yeah, the Bengals had something similar with that too, where they were checking at first with the new technology they had to see if the ball crossed the first down mark. It takes way too long, man. That was like 5 minutes of just waiting. I just bring back the chain gang at that point, honestly.
Yeah. If the XFL can get it done faster than the NFL, something's wrong there. So
right.
Anyway, Browns don't get the turnover, but they do block the field goal. Somehow, Joe Flacco puts in another 15, 20 yards to get us into field goal range. And again, Andre Schmidt, who everybody wanted to run out of Cleveland in week 1 because of 2 missed kicks to give the Bengals the win. All of a sudden, it's starting to look like a hero with a 55-yarder. Again, defense was dominant. I mean, the broadcast team kept referring to how the LaFleur for the Packers coach was like dedicated to not let Myles Garrett wreck this game. There's a couple of memes out there of like 3 guys just defending Myles Garrett like on an island, which helped the rest of the Browns. I mean, there was 2 sacks by Malik Collins,
Yeah.
Alex Wright, Aiden Huntington, Myles Garrett, Carson Schlesinger also a sack, his first of the year. The rookie, 10 tackles, 2 pressures, and a tackle for loss. That looks like a stud pick at linebacker.
Mhm.
Mason Graham, 4 pressures, 3 hurries, half a sack. Something I found crazy when somebody just threw up this stat on Twitter, and I had to fact check it, but he had a 43% win rate on the pass rush, which it doesn't sound crazy, right? It's like, yeah, sure, it sounds good for a defensive tackle. The average is 9%. And to give you some perspective, even Aaron Donald's best year in the NFL, his average win rate was 25.9%. So, just crazy that this is happening. The only highlights on offense were the rookies, Quinshawn Judkins, 94 yards and a touchdown. Harold Fannin shined again. But on the other side of the ball, there wasn't really much to show. Matthew Golden, who I think is going to be great in the league, he finally started to pick up some momentum. If you've got dynasty leagues out there, I'd highly recommend targeting him as a good wide receiver since he hasn't started too hot. But, man, I tell you what, I'm thinking after 3 games, as insane as it sounds, Mason Graham is on his way to be a Pro Bowler. You think I'm crazy?
I honestly, you're trying to find an argument with me, but I honestly can't say no to that. Like I mean, he has been playing very, very well. So I maybe even honestly, I kind of like him as defensive rookie of the year at this point at a minimum, Um, but yeah, I mean, I could see the Pro Bowl too. I mean, he's playing very well so far. Again, it's a small sample size through 3 games. We'll see what he does for the rest of the year. But yeah, I think definitely making a difference on your defense. But Brian, honestly, I just feel like none of this matters if you guys can't start scoring more points on offense. And Joe Flacco is not going to get you guys to the playoffs. He's just not. He's getting old. He's slow. And I mean, I just kind of want to know your perspective on when they should bring in one of these rookies. I mean, obviously Dylan Gabriel probably first, but the defense is too good for, I mean, I guess to really waste this season. Like they have a chance, man. Like if their offense gets going, watch out. The Browns are dangerous because that defense is legit.
Yeah, and that's the sad part, right? There's a lot of if you watch the full game, there was a lot of missed throws by Flacco. There's a lot of corner routes that he's just throwing out of bounds rather than giving the receiver a chance. There's a lot of check down Charlie going on where his emergency is the tight end or the running back instead of taking a chance on the play. Don't know if he's being coached to do that, but
Yeah.
the deep ball is just not there, and that was really one of the only things that he had. He underthrew Isaiah Bond, who's a speedster, twice. One led to an interception, which was kind of like a punt anyway, but the other one was just overthrown, and
Yeah.
it's kind of sad to see when I think of the 2023 Browns and Flacco. He had all that clicking, right?
Yeah.
So he's obviously past his time, and I'm with you. I think I just heard that they announced that Flacco will be the starter again against the Lions this coming week. Not happy about it. I think he's shown you all that you need to see, right? And
Sure.
if they're comfortable enough to put Dylan Gabriel as the backup that he could go in at any time if Joe could get injured, it's time to just see what the rookies have, man. I know you probably want to protect him. He's only a 3rd round pick. you're probably picking a quarterback in the first round next year anyway,
Yeah,
unless Gabriel or Shador shows something really special this year. But you're never going to find that out if you just keep rolling out there. And, the offensive line is not great. The wide receivers are not great, but Joe's got no mobility. So if Dylan could put a little mobility into this team, I think you can see a big change, right? I just
for sure.
I've had enough of the Joe Flacco show. So
yeah, you guys are just missing that spark. Frankly, I don't think it matters who starts this Sunday against the Lions. I don't see you guys winning that game. I don't know if you want to argue with me on that one, but I think Detroit's coming back. So
I think there's a chance. So the thing that I watched last night when I watched the Lions and the Ravens game was the Ravens just got pounded up the middle, right? It was just a steady dose of Montgomery and Gibbs over and over and over again. I think they had like 217 yards total, something like that, and 4 touchdowns between the two of them. It was insane, right? And aside from the first half against the Bengals, I mean, the Browns have not given up like any rushing yards to Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson, Josh Jacobs.
Yeah.
These are not schlubs, right? At running back. So I think that's going to be a big key to the game. But
yeah, I mean, the spread is 8.5. I think it definitely could be close. I mean, 8.5 points in the NFL. I mean, it's a lot. I mean, Detroit's a tough place to play. It is just crazy though to watch some of the plays that Detroit calls, and it's like, how are you supposed to guard that? That's the thing. Like, and plus too, with Dan Campbell going forward on 4th down as much as he does, like that's another thing you need to take into consideration. But yeah, it looks like Detroit's starting to come alive after that embarrassing loss against the Packers week 1. But man, that's going to be a really fun race, I think, in that division between the Packers and I'll say the Vikings too, and the Lions. The Bears. No, I still don't believe in the Bears, but we might talk about that later. We'll see.
I don't have much confidence in the Vikings. I don't believe in J.J. McCarthy, and I obviously don't believe in Carson Wentz. But I think it's a two-headed race, the Packers and the Lions. I think the Browns defense is just going to show up this year as a top 3, and I think next week you're going to see the Packers go right back to dominance.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm still a big question mark on the Lions, man. They have a great game, then a bad game, right? It's like,
yeah.
I'm still curious to see exactly how losing Ben Johnson affects them, but it seems that for now they're still throwing the trick plays out, and at least what I saw last night were absolutely crushing the Ravens.
Right. Yeah, it's so crazy too. I was looking at the schedule. The Lions played the Ravens obviously last night. They play the Browns and they play the Bengals. Like they just basically play the AFC North in 3 weeks. Basically, it's just crazy. Found that interesting. So.
Yep. No, that's how it goes. That's kind of how the Browns are too. But some news around the league. Let's just talk about some of the injuries that happened this week. Joey Bosa, 49ers, out for the year, torn ACL. Najee Harris, out for the season, Achilles. I've got Hampton in a lot of fantasy leagues, so I don't ever wish an injury, but I'd like to see what Hampton can do with more lion's share of the carries. Honestly, I'm a big believer in him. James Conner with the Cardinals out for the season with an ankle. CeeDee Lamb. It was really weird. During the broadcast, they said that Jerry Jones already told them somehow that CeeDee Lamb wasn't going to miss next week, and then it comes out later this week that he's going to miss a few weeks at least. I was like, what is going on here? Like, how is Jerry Jones getting to the broadcast team in the middle of the game to tell them about next week?
It's the most Cowboys thing ever. I honestly, though, he could play all he wants. The Cowboys are not going anywhere with that defense. Sure, I believe in their offense, and it sucks if he's going to be missing some time, but their defense is horrendous, and they're not going anywhere with that. So
no, it's abysmal. I mean, the Giants just showed you abysmal offense week 1, great against one team in the Cowboys in week 2, and then right back to terrible watch the next night. Other major ones, Mike Evans, hamstring. He's likely going to be out a few weeks. They've got Chris Godwin coming back, I believe, this week.
Gonna need
And
him.
yeah, and obviously Emeka Ibuka has just been falling. Only other one for me hits close is DeJuan Jones, injured again, 3 seasons in a row. No big shock there. Any major concerns with any of those injuries you think that are going to change much? Or
I mean, Mike Evans definitely, I think, is Baker Mayfield's going to miss him for sure.
yeah,
Guy's just been a touchdown machine his entire career. So yeah, I think that's definitely going to be. I think honestly, out of all of those, I think that's probably the biggest one. I mean, Najee Harris, sure, I guess. I don't think Najee Harris is that good, to be honest with you. I don't think he was that good in Pittsburgh to begin with. CD Lamb, that's definitely a problem. But like I said, the Cowboys aren't going anywhere with the defense. So,
yep.
But yeah, if the Buccaneers want to keep doing what they're doing, they're going to need him back pretty soon.
Yeah, for sure. And what about the 1 o'clock games, the block party? What about that was insane. I'm just watching all these games at the airport on my way back from Key West. You got the Jets block a field goal for the Buccaneers to return it for a touchdown, still lose the game. Eagles, same thing. They block a kick for a touchdown, they win the game. And then Browns, we already talked about, same thing. All three happened like, I don't know, within 5-10 minutes of each other.
Yeah, it's crazy. And honestly, all three of those affected a lot of gamblers out there too, including myself. Buccaneers were -6.5. And then it was the Rams were +2.5. So going up for that field goal for the win, they were down 2. So theoretically, yeah, if they lose the game, they lose by 2. And that happens. I mean, it's unbelievable, truly. It's just a lot of money was lost this week, I think.
So do you think it's just the beginning of the year, or I mean, special teams, man, has seemed more important than ever. Maybe I'm just not remembering, but like, what's going on? Is there something different this year? I mean, is special teams more important this year, or is it just a wild turn of events for 3 weeks?
It's tough to tell, man. It's just weird stuff happens in the NFL, but to see 3 of those, honestly, simultaneously, like it was literally, I think they were all within 5 minutes of each other, no joke. Yeah, I mean, maybe there's something going on with the Gatorade that they're giving. I don't know, but yeah, it's honestly making the games a little more exciting. And if you're one of those teams that are a fan, that's watching them, your team potentially almost lose on a game-winning field goal. Yeah, I mean, it's more exciting that way, because I feel like they know that they might have a chance to get this thing blocked. So, yeah, I like it. Let's keep it going.
Love it. I mean, other things around the league. The Panthers blew out Atlanta.
Crazy.
Atlanta just that bad, or what? What do you think? Like? I mean, Atlanta's not good, right? But the Panthers have been abysmal as well. So
yeah, it's that's a weird one too. I mean, like I said, everybody has a bad day. Bengals and Falcons obviously can attest to that. So they benched Penix in the fourth quarter, I think.
I didn't even see that.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm not a firm believer in the Falcons. Panthers.
Like that?
What's that? Yeah.
Like that?
We'll see what happens. But the Panthers, yeah, they're not a good team. So I just think it's a bad team beating another bad team. So I'm not thinking too much about that.
And you still have no stock in the Bears, huh? You're not rejuvenated.
No stock, man. I look at the Cowboys. Like, look how bad their defense is. It is horrible.
Yeah.
No, I am not a believer in the Bears. Maybe they'll prove me wrong. I mean, they play the Raiders, I think, on the road this week. So, I don't think it's necessarily a huge test for them. But being on the road, let's see what they do. Let's see if they can repeat it.
For sure.
But yeah, like I said, not a good Cowboys defense right now. So I'm not buying in yet.
Okay. And what about 49ers? I mean, 49ers Cardinals, I was expecting the 49ers to really take care of business. They won with a game-winning field goal at the last second.
Yeah.
Do you think the Cardinals are legit, or what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think the Cardinals are definitely better than what people thought they were going to be. I mean, but you got to look at who they've played, though. That's the problem. Week 1, they beat the Saints. Week 2, they beat the Panthers.
Okay.
And then they lose on the road to the 49ers. So they got the Cardinals they got the Seahawks coming up this week on Thursday night. So honestly, I'm pretty excited to watch that game. I think it's honestly going to be interesting and pretty entertaining. So again, do I see them making the playoffs? I don't. But I think that it's going to be coming down to the wire if they're going to be a wild card team or not.
Okay. And we got a couple 3-0 teams that are surprising.
Yeah.
You've got, to me, it's the Colts and the Buccaneers.
For sure.
You have faith in Danny Dimes now with the new coaching. What are you thinking?
Yeah, man, he's slinging it, dude. I do like him. I don't think the rest of that division is really that great. The Titans are horrible. The Jaguars, I feel like, are just and then the Texans have a lot of issues going on right now. CJ Stroud is struggling. The offensive line, not good. So yeah, again, there's another good game coming up. I mean, Colts Rams this week. That's going to be a fun game to watch.
Sure.
I think the Rams are a playoff team. So we'll see. I think it's going to be a test for them for sure. But yeah, I am a believer right now in the Colts.
And you mentioned the 0-3 Texans. I mean, the other 0-3 starts that are kind of surprising. Jets, Dolphins, Giants, maybe not so much. But do you think any of those teams can turn it back around? I mean, is it just too much?
I think it's too little too late, man. I mean, the Jets and the Dolphins are done. I mean, obviously they have the Bills in their division already, so they're not going to sniff the division title in those. It would have to be the wild card. I guess never say never, but and especially seeing some of these teams that you think were going to be at least 2-1, they're 1-2. Like for example, the Chiefs and Broncos. So I never say never, but no, I do not think either of those teams are going to be able to turn it around.
Okay.
What do you think on that?
I don't have any faith in I mean, I'm super surprised by the Texans. I just thought CJ Stroud last year went through a sophomore slump, and I thought he was going to pick it back up. I am not seeing it. It's not like they're playing juggernauts, right? So I'm a little confused. You know, they fleeced the Browns for all them picks and they have a lot of talent on that team, and I don't know what's going on. I love the coach, I love the players, and just something's not happening. You know.
Yep.
I have not honestly watched the games too closely, but that is very surprising to me. So they would be the ones that I would think could turn it around. No faith in the Jets, the Giants, maybe the Dolphins, but that's a long shot. So
for sure.
Let's flip it over to college a little bit. Ohio State obviously had a bye, but we talked about some of the games last week. Texas Tech obviously trounces Utah. I thought Utah was gonna show up and end up in the top 10 after this. Didn't happen. The oil money sunk in already, got in there early, and Oklahoma was a closer game than I expected, but they did take care of business, beat Auburn, and then Indy crushed Illinois. Again, I thought the opposite was going to happen. So anything surprised you out of those three games? Anything else that happened last week in college that took you away?
You know, I really thought that Auburn was going to win that game. But I think the bigger one, man, Indiana, hats off to them. I predicted that they were going to win just because they were the home team, but man, I did not think by that much.
wild.
Yeah, absolutely wild. So I think, yeah, Indy's going to make some noise this year. I think Illinois, I feel like got exposed. They're definitely going to be taking a drop in the rankings, and their schedule doesn't get really any easier. So stay tuned for that one.
And a little special sprinkle here. We don't usually talk much about baseball on this podcast, but Nick is a Reds fan. Go figure, Cincinnati.
Yep.
And then I am a Guardians fan, and both teams have somehow managed to sneak their way into a wild card position at the moment as we record this on 9/23, 2025. So, Nick, how you feeling about your Reds, buddy?
Honestly, I'm feeling pretty good. I think that they need to go 4-2 the next 6 games. They're playing the Pirates right now, actually, and then the problem is though they got to go to Milwaukee to end the season. So, if you're a Reds fan, obviously, I think you need to root for the Brewers to keep winning the next couple of games so they can lock up that number 1 seed. So they don't play a lot of their starters when they play the Reds. So. Just looked at the score. The Reds are currently losing to the Pirates 4-0 in the bottom of the second. That is not ideal. And the Guardians are tied with the Tigers right now 0-0.
And the Guardians are 1 game out of. They're 1 game behind the Tigers in the division.
Yep.
If they somehow come back and win this division, that will have made history as the biggest comeback. They once were down 15 and a half games. As we said, they're right now in the wild card. They're making some noise, and this will probably be, as embarrassing as this is, one of the worst offenses that ever makes the playoffs. But the pitching, of course, this is so Cleveland, right? It's the great, and the offense is meh. Anything else? I know you see some Guardians games. What have you thought about them all season?
No, I mean, truly incredible. I mean, I definitely did not see that coming. 15 and a half games behind, man. And that was, gosh, when was that? That was last month, early August, I think, was when they were down that many games. So yeah, I mean, definitely thought that they could maybe, make a push to the wild card, but wow. I mean, for them to be 1 game out of winning their division. I mean, this is a huge series for them, obviously. But yeah, I mean, when you think of the Guardians, you really don't think, them scoring a lot of runs. They were struggling with that for sure throughout the season. But, when a team gets hot, I mean, they're tough to stop. They're tough to beat. So they have the pitching to do it. They have a great bullpen. So yeah, I think that if they could get in, they would definitely be able to make some noise. I don't think anybody's going to want to play them. That's for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I'm with you. So let's flip it back to football. Let's look at the week ahead. Looks like your Bengals are going to be facing the Broncos.
Yep.
And what are you feeling about that? Give us some information on that game. What do you?
So it's going to be in front of the entire nation on Monday Night Football. So look, I do not think that the Bengals are going to be. They will not be as bad as they were on Monday or Sunday against the Vikings. I don't think they're going to turn the ball over 5 times. Hopefully, they can get some kind of running game, because if they don't, they're staring at another loss. So I think they find a little bit more of a rhythm. Zach's got to get his guys ready to play this game, because honestly, it's week 4, but I'm calling this a must win for the Cincinnati Bengals. They are 2-1 right now. But after this game against the Broncos, you got to play the Lions, and then you got to go play the Packers. So if you could find a way to get to 3-1, you're more confident. If, they, most likely will lose to the Lions and the Packers, they drop to 3-3. With this division right now, man, it's just, it's still up for grabs. It's just, I mean, the fact that the Ravens are 1-2, and I still don't really believe in the Steelers. I don't think they're that good. I'm sure you would agree with me on that.
Most Steelers fans want to give Aaron Rodgers back, so it must.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. So I mean, just got to take care of the ball if you're Cincinnati. Jake Browning has to play better, and he's going to have to make some completions to win this game. So, as we know, Denver's a tough place to play. They're coming off a bad loss against the Chargers, so they're pissed off. But I could see the Bengals definitely still winning this game for sure.
Yeah, and we mentioned, I mean, the Broncos have a pretty stout defense, but that would be a nice win. We already kind of talked about the Browns, the Lions, what we thought of that coming up. Obviously, you think we're going to get trounced, it sounds like. And I think the defense, if the offense does something, I think the defense can hold, I think, the Lions to 21, 24 points.
Yeah.
I think that's a little outside of Joe Flacco's
range. Right.
But I don't think it's going to be as crazy as some other games that are out there. You had mentioned the Ravens. Both the Ravens and the Chiefs are 1-2, and they play each other at 4:30 on Sunday.
Should be a good game.
What a game! So my big question there is, whichever one of those teams that loses, okay, they go 1-3. We thought both of those teams were a playoff team coming into the season. Can that team come back, whichever one it is?
I would say I feel more confident in the Ravens coming back.
Okay.
Just mainly because they're the better team. They're definitely going to have to figure some things out on defense, but they were missing a couple of key starters on the line last night. The Chiefs, I feel like, are on a downfall, man. I mean, you see the highlight of Andy Reid going at it again with Travis Kelce. There's a little trouble in paradise over there in Kansas City, and I love to see it. I think it's the Chargers division right now to win. I think that the Chiefs are going to have to be a wild card team, and it's going to be tough, man, if they drop to 1-3 for sure. For either team, but yeah, do you agree with me on the Ravens probably having the upper hand on that?
I don't know. You mentioned they have some injuries on the defense, but yeah, I think until the receivers come back for Kansas City, I can't remember his name. Tryon something. The one guy.
That guy. Yeah, got
it. He balled out for one game, but I don't think that you can hold your head on that.
Yeah.
So, another game you already mentioned, the Colts Rams. That should be exciting. Another 3-3 matchup. That should just be an offensive showdown, I imagine, right? And the big question for me is, can Danny Dimes keep up with Matthew Stafford and all those offensive weapons that he has?
Right.
I think through 3 weeks, they've obviously shown you, right, that they can.
Yeah.
Do you see any reason they wouldn't?
Man, I don't think so. I honestly think that the Colts I think the Colts win the game. The Rams right now are -3.5, it looks like.
Oh, are they?
So I think that's just really home field advantage at that point. And honestly, the Rams don't really have home field advantage, in my opinion. Not enough fans there. I think the Colts come in here and take care of business. The Rams are coming off a pretty devastating loss, and that could be sometimes tough to recover from. So go Danny Dimes. Even though I'm rooting for the Rams, obviously, because got to have all these AFC teams lose.
I'm with you. And then the last big matchup of this coming week, I think, is the Eagles and the Buccaneers. I think the Eagles dominate. What do you think?
Yeah, man, I'm leaning towards the Buccaneers on this one. I believe in Baker Mayfield. 3 game-winning drives in a row. I just feel like in these games they've had chances to kind of put these teams away, and they kind of let them hang around. And that could definitely be a problem when you're facing a team like the Eagles. But the Eagles did not look good in the first half, and they definitely obviously pulled it out in the second half. But man, is it just me, or are the Eagles just a boring team to watch? I don't know what it is. They run the ball a lot. They're doing the tush push. They're getting that, free head start that the refs aren't calling. Again, you're going to be down in Tampa, so going to be hot, going to be humid. Let's see if that affects the game or not. But I like the Buccaneers in this one, man.
Well, I think you're dead wrong. I think you're crazy. I love Baker Mayfield as well. I wish he never left Cleveland, but when the pressure's really on, I know he led 3 game-winning drives, but I mean, look at those opponents that he's faced. What is their combined record? 0-9. So
Yep.
I can't put much stock into that. And then you look at the Eagles. I mean, Cowboys, obviously, we mentioned not great defense, but opening game of the year, that's a one-off. And then they played the Chiefs and the Rams, who are both really good teams, right?
Yeah.
And I hear you that they're boring. I hate it that I have wide receivers for the Eagles on my fantasy teams, but I mean, the name of the game is defense wins championships, and if you can have a good defense and a good running game, which they obviously do, and then they can throw the ball too if they need to. So,
Yep.
I mean, you come back and win a game like that against the Rams, I think it's possible, and I think they're still a juggernaut to be a contentious. So, guess we'll see who's right next week. One of us can float.
We shall see.
Let's just hop right to locks of the week. You got any locks of the week for us? I think you went 2-0 last week. No,
2-0, had the over in the game last night, the Lions Ravens, and then Jaguars. They were basically a pick 'em, I think. So yeah, nice little rebound from week 2. So right now I'm eyeing, and I know this is a lot of points, guys, but the Bills are at home and they're playing the Saints. The spread right now is 16.5. That's a lot of points. I know. I'm taking the Bills in that. It's the NFL. I know a lot can happen, but the Saints are not good. Yeah, you don't like that. That's good. That's fine by me.
Oh man, that's a lot of points, man. That's a lot of points.
I know it is.
Okay.
And I am eyeing the over in the Packers Cowboys game as well, just mainly because the Cowboys could not stop anybody. I know they're going to be missing CeeDee Lamb on offense, but 47.5 is the line right now. It's in Dallas, so maybe that helps their offense or their defense getting a little rhythm. But no, I like the over on that one for sure.
Okay. What about have you looked at this? Isn't one of your locks, right? But have you looked at the over for the Colts Rams? Does that entice you at all, or would you stay away from that? I don't even know what it is.
It's 49.5 right now, it looks like.
Okay, it's less than the Ravens Lions was last.
It is, which, yeah, man, I don't hate it, but I don't necessarily love it. Gosh, I mean, you could, if you wanted to twist my legs, sure, why not? But I could see this game being like a 17-14 game because both of these teams have been scoring a lot of points this year. So it's only a matter of time before you get one of those games where it's, you think it's going over and then, both teams kind of struggle to score. So
I hear you. All right. So college, let's just wrap it up with college before we head out of here. Ohio State, obviously coming off of a bye week. They go heading to Washington. Last I looked, it was 13.5 point spread.
Yep.
I think this should be a good test for the Buckeyes. I'm looking to see if Saban has a turnover-free game, but I've talked to a couple guys that watch more college football than I do, and they're all telling me, do not be surprised if this is a much closer game than a 14-point game with the Buckeyes in Washington. What are your thoughts, Nick?
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree, honestly. This is Ohio State's first road test, and you're playing a team that's 3-0 right now. Granted, Washington, who have they played? Nobody really that great. That's nowhere near the, Ohio State. So, I just feel like 13.5 points is a lot on the road. So I mean, like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if Washington covers, but all said and done, I think Ohio State comes in and takes care of business.
That's fair. A couple other games that I've got my eye on: Penn State, Oregon, number 3 versus number 6; Ole Miss versus LSU; Indy and Iowa, and then Georgia and Alabama. Anything that you're really excited about there?
Very much looking forward to the Penn State Oregon game. I'm assuming that's a whiteout, if I'm not mistaken. Could be wrong. That is a very tough place to play. If I were to pick right now, I would say Penn State's going to win that game.
Mm.
But I'm very much looking forward to that. What about you?
Same. I mean, obviously, we're both Big Ten guys, right? And I think Penn State's going to take care of business.
Yeah.
So at home, yeah, like you said, it's a 7:30 game, so it's probably going to be a whiteout. And yeah, that's a loud place to play.
For sure.
So should be a fun week, though. Fun weekend of college, and hopefully, some more victories for our home teams.
Right?
Yes, sir. Well, that'll wrap up this week's edition of the Rust Belt Rivalry podcast. Browns fans, Bengals fans, Buckeye Nation, still a lot to look forward to. Nick, take us away.
Yep. Make sure you guys subscribe, leave us a review, hit us up on social media too with all your takes.